All right, section 5.5 is multiple angle and product to some identities. So we have all the rest of these identities on this sheet. So the first thing, example 1 deals with our double angle identities, okay? So the sine of 2 theta is equal to the sine 2 times the sine of theta cosine of theta. And I used A's and B's, or A's instead of thetas. The cosine of twice an angle, we have 3 choices, okay? And it depends on the problem that you're doing and what you're given, but it's all the same thing. Cosine of twice an angle is the same as cosine squared of the angle minus sine squared of the angle. To get this one, you replace cosine squared with 1 minus sine squared, and you get 1 minus 2 sine squared. Or to get this one, you replace sine squared with 1 minus cosine squared, and you get 2 cosine squared minus 1. So essentially, you have the first one. These are just 2 variations of the first one. And then tangent of 2 twice an angle is equal to 2 times the tangent of the angle over 1 minus tangent squared of the angle. So for example 1, it says if cosine of theta is equal to 3/5 on the interval 0 to pi halves. So that tells me that my angle is in quadrant 1, and if my cosine is 3/5, excuse me, it makes this a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So the first thing I'm going to do is find sine of 2 theta, and so it's equal to 2 times the sine of theta times the cosine of theta from the identity sheet. So I have the sine of theta is 4/5, and the cosine of theta is 3/5. And so if you want, plug it in your calculator, but 2 times 4/5 times 3/5 is going to give you 24/5. Excuse me, 24/25. 5 times 5 is 25. All right, cosine of 2 theta. Now, I have 3 choices on my identity sheet. Because they gave me cosine of theta, I'm just going to use the 2 cosine squared of theta minus 1. Okay, it doesn't matter which one I use. So I have cosine of theta is 3/5, and I'm going to have to square it. So this is 9/25 times 2 is 18/25 minus 1 is a negative 7/25. And the third one, tangent of 2 theta, I have to have 2 times the tangent of theta over 1 minus the tangent squared of theta. Well, the tangent of theta is 4/3. So I have 2 times 4/3 over 1 minus 4/3 squared. So on top I have 8/3. And on the bottom I have 1 minus 16/9, which is going to give me a negative 7/9. And again, you could have used your calculator. You would have needed quite a few parentheses for this one. I'm going to multiply by my reciprocal. So I have 8/3 times a negative 9/7. Multiply that, and I get a negative 24/7.